brothers and sisters, the world crazy but not me, you know, I'm coming in from the cold, -2 degrees. Me, I'm running in the forest at the break of dawn. That's what we're supposed to do. My next video will be about another form of potential child mistreatment within a dysfunctional narcissistic family unit. I say mistreatment because in our barbaric society, when we talk of child abuse, it induces strictly physical abuse, um, while everything else, like mental abuse, is not directly connected to child abuse. So, in other words, we tolerate, yes, our society, our law system, our bureaus, our federal institutions support or at least tolerate mental child abuse of children. And one way that narcissists mistreat children can be that they imagine they have a grade A supply, a sigma empath, a sleeping empath, and not empowered empath. They have a grade A supply. And then they discard this supply. So they got primary supply, they got the 4S of narcissistic supply: safety, sex, services, and supply. And then the grade A supply restricts the 4S to them, which leads to their discard, okay? And then the narcissist will extract secondary supply, which comes through making the discarded person that they perceive as hostile. So you setting healthy boundaries for yourself and waking up. The narcissist experiences this as a personal attack on him. And this is why they have to project back on you their bad object, and this, you know, they will then attack you. And they will try to, you need to understand they are reaction creating machines. They are trained to create strong emotional reactions in people because they can extract primary or secondary supply. Primary supply would be the narcissist idealizes you and you idealize the narcissist back, which shows the parenting role in their intimate relations. Okay, so it's about the eternal honeymoon phase, which comes from parenting actually. So the child idealizing the parent. So this is what they need always in their intimate infantile relationship status. And this is why you, three fingers pointing back at you, when you step out of this family unit, out of this relationship, you need to work on yourself as well, because you have been infantilized and your boundaries were not reflected. You are not individuated. Individuation never stops, so you have to integrate certain shadow parts of yourself that you have repressed, okay? And that you can learn some things from the narcissist, some things, some of the evilness, some of the self-absorption, some of the entitlement, but just in healthy dose, so you can defend yourself. Anyway, let's get back to the child mistreatment. So they extract a secondary supply, which is sadistic supply. So they enjoy creating strong emotions in another person, whether it's pain, hate, sadness, despair, craziness, whatever. And the somatic narcissist especially will be sexually aroused by this, okay? And the covert narcissist, when they do shameful things because they have repressed all feelings of shame, they will feel this toxic pride, I call it, and the toxic pride can also be translated to sexual arousal, because, you know, every narcissist has his own idea of his own grandiosity. And they can support this feeling of grandiosity by extracting secondary sadistic supply. And they will then resell this sadistic, immoral, psychopathic, narcissistic supply they extract by inflicting pain on others and misery. They will resell it to the children as Nestwärme, nest warmth, as a healed world, as a role model of how love should be, because they need the validation of the kids, where they reverse parenting again, because this will trauma bond the kids, that kids feel they have been traumatized. There was a destructive circle where someone has been mistreated and traumatized by this projective identification, by the triangulation of the narcissistic death trap. I made videos about this, and this is the emotional elephant in the room. But within the narcissistic family cult, nobody is allowed to speak about it. They will use this, you know, something that has been created through destruction, through badness, through evilness, through sadistic ways, through the absence of a moral core, through shameful behavior. They will use this energy, and they want the children, they force the children, they put brutally an introject into the children that forces the children to validate this as something healthy, good, and warm. And this will create introjects and trauma in the children that will trauma bond the children, which will block their healthy individuation, and which potentially can influence the development of the child in a way that they will have problems creating boundaries themselves in the future. They will have problems finding the right partner for themselves, because the parents don't accept boundaries of the kids. They do traumatizing things. They do things that are not okay, that hurt the children and everybody around them. But they then try to switch the narration to create a shared fantasy that everybody has to validate. This is the attempt of the narcissist to individuate himself. So they go through a destructive circle, and they then want to individuate from the discarded person, and they want to become whole themselves. And to do this, they try to put their introject into the kids and use the kids to validate this so they themselves can believe it. If they would not have this external validation, they would be haunted by the fake image they try to create that nobody validates, and they abuse children to do this. So in other words, they hurt and traumatize the children, extract energy from it, and then try to use the same victims that they victimize to basically create supply for them, validation for what they do. Okay? They need validation for a lie, for a shared fantasy, for a pathological process. Stay tuned, next video, we're going deeper.